VAG Trophy is back for 2015. We've got new drivers, revised regulations, a brand new title sponsor in MaximumGroup.net, and we're here at the Snetterton 300 circuit. It's technical and it's fast. The great thing about the VAG Trophy is it stands for Volkswagen Audi Group, so you can bring any car from the Volkswagen Audi Group. You've got your Beetles, your Siroccos, your Golfs, you can bring anything, so that's the real great thing about this championship. This is a very famous badge, GTI, on this Mark V Golf. It represents most of the field, and I know why that is, because I've driven one myself. It's a fantastic machine, and watch out, because these cars will go well. This is the Seat Leon Cupra, and this car in particular run on its own back in the day, and it launched the careers of Matt Jackson and Rob Huff into British touring car stardom. Watch out for this car, because it can still win races. This is the VW Scirocco R. The R stands for racing. You've got big rear wings on it, and that's what it's all about. It's a racing car. It's not only aesthetically pleasing, it is a very, very fast and capable car. Watch out for race wins. This car needs hardly any introduction, the VW Beetle, a fantastic looking car, and it's represented in the VAG Trophy. Just goes to show you can bring anything you want from the VAG group and bring it into the trophy and race hard. Well, it's a bit windy and it has been raining, but it's drying up. The cars are ready to rock and roll to the first corner. We've got Aaron Mason on pole, Paul Taylor is up in second. How are these guys going to get on? Listen to those engines.
Thanks, Paul. Always a great degree of anticipation ahead of the first race of the season as the cars grid up at Snetterton. This is how they line up with Aaron Mason and Paul Taylor sharing the front row from Paul Ivans and Martin Cully. Great fifth in qualifying for the leading Class B car in the form of Rob Allam, and watch for Jason Tingle from 9th on the grid. Simon Tomlinson well up in 11th place, with Christy Duran and Chris Mohan completing the field of cars. There's one gap, and that's who it is. Tony Harberman in his Beetle, going to be starting from the pit lane. Everybody else underway, and away we go. It's a good start from Paul Taylor, the Seat Leon Cupra, who has always been lightning off the line, but it's the white Scirocco of Aaron Mason who leads into riches for the first time of asking. Everybody else tiptoes through. Lee Christopher in the bright orange Scirocco, well up in the midfield. Also John Stevens making progress in the number 13 car, as Mason just about holds on to the lead. Does a big slide at the Montreal hairpin. It's a chilly March day, and the drivers may be taking a little bit of time to get some heat into their tyres. That means that Paul Taylor can keep it nice and close. Then it's the green Scirocco, Paul Evans, somebody in trouble. That's Martin Cully in the Vento. Disappointing start to season for him, as we're in car with Chris Mohan as he looks to the inside of Simon Tomlinson as a challenge for the lead, and through goes Paul Taylor at Agostini. I suspect there might just be a fleeting moment of glory, because Mason draws alongside as they sprint towards Hamilton. They flick through the left-hander. Taylor almost up onto three wheels. Runs a little bit wide. That's going to give Mason the opportunity to challenge into Oggies. On the brakes, down through the gears, and the white Scirocco on the tail of the Seat Leon Cupra R in the traditional Seat colours of silver and yellow. Both of them propel out of Williams down the Bentley straight, and this is an opening. This is an opening, I would suggest, maybe for Aaron Mason. He's not quite close enough this time around, so they flick out of Nelson on towards the bomb hole. It's one of the very few corners here at Snetterton not reconfigured prior to the start of the 2011 season. The 300 circuit went live, and that leading duo, despite the squabble, as you can see, are breaking well clear of the rest of the pack. We're in car with Tony Harberman, having started from the pit lane. He is beginning to make good progress, picking his way up through the order, very relaxed. Find the wheel as well, Tony. Right out of Murray's we come, and sprinting on centre straight through the completion lap, and Paul Taylor still doing exactly what he needs to do in terms of keeping that queue behind him. Pack of cars dropping back from this leading duo as Mason looks to the outside at Riches, can't quite make that stick. and instead he's going to try and force Paul Taylor maybe to the defensive as they head towards Montreal, but Taylor shuts the door a little bit too late, and through goes Aaron Mason, who takes the lead of the race. So the pole sitter Mason, after that wayward first lap, is out front, beginning to ease clear of the rest of the field. But can he keep Paul Taylor with him? You can see the leading duo got a big gap over the fight for third, and it's Jason Tingle who's up in third place in the Class B car. That's brilliant driving from the ex Mark II Golf GTI racer, and Tingle of course on treaded tyres, and therefore as the cars on the slicks get a little bit more heat into them, that is going to be a real task to keep the pack at bay. There is the possibility of an outright podium. There's plenty of battles to be found through the field. This is what is so enjoyable about the MaximumGroup.net VAG trophy. Wherever you look, there is a wheel-to-wheel dice to be enjoyed. Right, back to the fight for third position, and Tingle has got Evans tucked up right behind him as they accelerate on to the Bentley straight. And then we've also got Richard Morgan, I think it is, in the number 48 car. That's the red Golf with the black stripes. He is there waiting to pick up any pieces if Tingle and Evans slow themselves down. Out to Nelson, on towards the bomb hole, and Tingle just flicks through the right-hander, uses the camber to good advantage, and up over the crest into Coram Curve. As now looking to the inside, the Scirocco of Evans saw the gap at the fast entry to Coram, but it really tightens into Murray's. That camera angle gives you a very good sense of it, and a spin behind. One of the chasing pack rotates around. Meanwhile, Tony Haverman making progress and continuing to move up through the field. That's Chris Mowen, who he is able to demote through the bomb hole on towards Coram Curve. Meanwhile, this is the fight for third, and Tingle doing a remarkable job keeping those behind, because the quicker Class A cars really should be able to find some space, but Tingle is just sticking to the racing line, and as a result he's making those trying to elevate themselves into the overall podium positions do it the hard way. Look to the outside, but then to the inside for Evans into Palmer. Tingle gathers up the line, just clips the apex, sprinting on towards Agostini, the left-hand hairpin, and again Evans to the inside of Tingle. Is Paul Evans going to be able to break late enough? No, he's not. And Jason Tingle tried to cover the line, but then he slithers out wide, and through goes Evans, and Richard Morgan might well be able to squeeze through as well. But Morgan, he just couldn't quite get the car squared off enough and get the power down quickly enough, and as a result Tingle maintains that fourth place. He is comfortably leader of Class B. There is Richard Morgan. Nice shot into the cockpit as he gets onto turns with Tingle. While Paul Evans in third place drives away. Aaron Mason still leading Paul Taylor out at the front of the field. Catch a glimpse of Paul Taylor there. You can see the advantage leading duo have built up, and look in the background at the 33 car of Lee Christopher. He is closing in onto their tail very rapidly as well, and so what was a three-way scrap, now a two-way battle for fourth, could well become a three-way tussle if Tingle continues to defend from Morgan and the pair of them slow each other up. But we're getting reasonably late on into the race now. It's through Coram Curve on towards Murray's. Beautiful driving from Tingle. He's just covering enough of the inside of the circuit to leave no hope of an opening for Richard Morgan. He only needs to maintain that sort of pattern for one more lap, because we go into the last lap now. Aaron Mason leads the way, and comfortably so. Paul Taylor not really quite close enough to challenge, but look at this fight for fourth, because Lee Christopher has gained significantly over the course of this last lap, and Jason Tingle has got the bonnet flapping Richard Morgan tucked up behind him. This has really been the story of the race. The fine performance from Tingle leading Class B from Rob Allam and Chris Mowen. Morgan again looks pressurised coming out of Montreal, but you can see Tingle is just driving a really nice defensive line. He's not slowing himself down too much. As you see that Evans hasn't exactly robbed clear, but at the same time he is just making sure that there are no openings for Richard Morgan. Morgan will be hoping for instead is maybe the sort of mistake that Tingle made at Agostini a couple of laps ago, and again Tingle leaves the gap. Through goes Richard Morgan. Now can Jason Tingle get the switch back as Morgan gets the power down coming out of Agostini, and it was a much nicer exit from Jason Tingle. It means that Richard Morgan has got lots of pressure on him as they come through Hamilton onto three wheels, and Tingle asking all the right questions and darts to the inside of Oggies. Through goes Jason Tingle, reclaims fourth position. really nicely judged move that from Tingle. And you could see as soon as Richard Morgan got through, he was a little bit anxious at having to defend, because generally speaking it is far easier to attack than defend. What Tingle's been very adept at is not driving with his mirrors, whereas Richard Morgan arguably was doing that immediately. But all of those antics mean that Lee Christopher, there he is, the bright orange Scirocco, has joined this battle. It's a three-way tussle for fourth. And again, Tingle just moves to the middle of the road, heading out of Nelson on towards the bomb hole. Can't really overtake there unless you are feeling spectacularly brave. But again, to the inside line for Tingle, as across the line and winning the first race of the season in the Maxcom Group.net VAG Trophy. It is Aaron Mason. Pole position, he takes the win. Second place going the way of Paul Taylor. Third should be claimed by Paul Evans, but what about the fight for fourth? That is what everybody is watching and waiting for. Jason Tingle, a redoubtable defensive drive, crosses the line and maintains that fourth position, just clear of Richard Morgan in fifth and Lee Christopher in sixth. A very, very lively start to the season. Let's have a look then at the results. The win for Aaron Mason, second for Paul Taylor. Paul Evans completes the podium. Jason Tingle fourth in the Class B victory. Second in class was Rob Allam, a fine seventh for Rob, and third in Class B going the way of Chris Moen in 11th position. So time for the first champagne of the season on the Snetterton rostrum. Then the photo call.
Aaron, great qualifying and also a great win there, but didn't have it all your own way, did you, in the first lap?
No, the car was a little bit loose in the first two laps. Sort of the second and third corner, it was really loose. So I thought, hang on a minute, I best, I'm probably going to be, faster at the end of the race. So I thought I'll concede for a lap or so till the tyres come in and sort of hopefully let experience play.
Jason, that was a bit of a legendary drive there, fella. You got treaded tyres on, you're in Class B and you're battling with them rascals from Class A. How did it go?
It went really well. I had a really, really good start. Just outbraked a load of them. I think they were being a bit cautious. Just got ahead of them and just had to fight them off with my stick out the back of the car all race. Got past another one, I think, whilst I was going, but once his tyres kicked in, he managed to get past, but the other two just managed to fight them off. One got past, I had to instantly get back past him, because if I didn't then, so I instantly outbraked him again, and then he didn't get past me again. I'm really happy, very, very happy. I've done really well. I think the car's really good. It's the first outing, so.
Good man. Well, good luck in the next one.
Thank you.
Fantastic opening round in the VAG Trophy. The weather is set to get worse, so we're going to have to see how the guys get on with a bit of a change of weather. But anyway, join us back after the break.